next stage of the competition. We have Central Buck South, who went 6-0 in the playoffs to make it to this point in time, and Wyoming Valley West that they'll be facing off against. 11 map differential for the team on the left, 4 map differential. I think they went 4-2 for Wyoming Valley West. So maybe a little bit one-sided. We saw some of the ranks in the lobby, but who knows what is going to go down until we actually get into the maps themselves.
Yeah, and I'm excited because this is a best of 5, a little bit longer than they've been playing of a series into the regular season. So more time to maybe change around your playstyle, more time to adapt. And important to note, this is a single elimination playoff bracket. Only the top 4 teams made it in from each of our different conferences. So you lose here today, you are out. You win, you're going to land in just a few short weeks. Vaudable, the stakes literally could not be higher.
Yeah, it's going to be great to see exactly who moves on to that LAN as well. There's also potential for a spot to move on to the next stage of the competition in terms of the Elite Conference in the spring. So that's where their eyes are on the LAN, the Elite Conference, everything on the line for this series. You got to move on from here on out to see how far you can take it. But again, I believe it's a single elimination bracket, if I'm not incorrect on that one for these teams. So one chance, one best of 5 is all it's going to take to make it to that championship. Winner of this one, again, will face off against a Carlisle High School or Penn Manor later on for Division 1. We got some Divot 2 action in the wing afterwards. But getting into these picks and bans right now, Spider-Man 1 Trick Ponies, you do not like playing against them, so I respect the ban on that one.
Taking down some of that aerialist mentality. And, you mentioned that Elite Conference. It's important to note what it is. The Elite Conference not only locks you into the spring playoffs, the state championship, by the way, but also gets you to play the best of the best. Some of the most important improvements come during the Elite Conference. So we are already into the picks, and it'll be interesting to see how we go from map to map and what those adaptations truly are between these two teams.
I like the Invisible Woman ban that we have from Wyoming Valley West. Definitely one of the best strategists in the game currently. You do not want to face off against them in this patch because they can do everything. They can heal, they can do damage, they can shield themselves now from what we've seen. Speaking of shields, though, Doctor Strange locked in. They want to be able to have that teleport option back to the objective if they do get knocked out. And I get that reasoning. You don't want to get eliminated, wiped from the team fight, and not have a chance to contend with the other team. But these are very targeted bans from the side of Central Buck South. You typically don't see a Spider-Man ban. You don't see a Iron Fist ban as well. So I'm liking these looks from their side. They did their research on their opponents. And on the other end, Penny Parker can be very effective, especially against a team that doesn't know how to counter them. So I'm liking these looks from these teams.
Yeah, I really like the low ground play from Penny, so that one is going to be taken off the table. It seems like, to me, Central Buck South, as we've seen them in the past, not only throughout the preseason, but in their matches throughout the regular season, they love that Punisher. What it provides in some of the longer range, consistent damage, and the ability to change a team fight when you change into turret form with that shield in front of you. Finally, they will take away the hover of JJ, and the Psylocke is off the table.
I'm not judging.
So overall thoughts on this pick and ban system. They don't want to worry about the Psylocke because that's one of the best DPS in the game. I get that. Punisher, so effective against a team who does not really know how to play Magneto. And you do see the one side of Magneto being locked in currently for Central Buck South. So they know that, hey, this other team, they don't really have a mag player. So we're just going to have free reign with this. No Meteor M's to stop us with our final judgment. And we're going to just be mowing it down the masses against Wyoming Valley West. So good looks in terms of the ban and protect phase on the side of Central Buck South. You can see why they were the team to go undefeated for their specific bracket to lead into the semifinals. And then on the other side, more of a focus on some of those vanguards, the strategists for the bans, protecting, the old faithfuls of Bucky and Doctor Strange, which we've seen people learn how to play that in Season 0, even in the beta, and now you get to see them still be so good and relevant at this state of the game.
And it feels like, as well for Central Buck South, it's not only how they got to 6-0, but it's also the extra addition of why. I mean, you talk about a team that only dropped a single map over the course of all of those 6 games, and plus 11 on the differential. And between these two teams, Wyoming Valley definitely the underdog here, but it is a single elimination bracket. You never know what's going to happen. So let's get into map number 1. We're playing Domination with those central points. A couple of sub maps, you've got to win 2 of them if you want to win the map overall.
do like that we have the res option for Wyoming Valley West if they need it, but the shotgun's going in as lethal as can be. You just gotta aim for those headshots and nobody can survive your wrap. That's exactly what we see M1A2 doing what they can to take out the competition, forcing them off the objective already. The first percentage going Central Buck South's way.
Taking out some of these chunkier members here as Snapdragon and Quickster combined for 2 again. And it's already 3 members down from Wyoming Valley West. They don't really have the coverage to take it. And Central Buck South has already encapsulated the domination point, and they're up to 20%.
Thorn really the only one who went down on Central Buck South side, so they didn't really have to worry too much, but the Black Panther lethality from Wyoming Valley West cannot be understated. Yes, they do get vanquished for a moment, but they're going to have to constantly check the corners, look behind them, and wait for somebody to dive in on the side of Wyoming Valley West, and that's kind of more of the composition that they're going for.
Trying to get the dive, trying to get the follow-up damage as well, but once again, the Quickster just playing the Doctor Strange is able to give and go, be able to pop that shield, play around this rock really well, and force them into this corridor. However, they have lost Fireball Tub, and now they're on the run. Working backwards, M1A2 is dropped, and the Black Panther strikes again to the back line, trying to play across that shield with the ultimate available here. X-Style, it is out, they'll go, and a nice turnaround as a 3K comes through.
Focusing on those duelists is definitely a good strategy from Wyoming Valley West, but the problem is that they're able to get back into the fight so quickly. Kraken Impact is online for Snapthorn. They just need to get healed up a little bit, and I'm liking this positioning from the Quickster, doing everything that he can. It's hard not to say it like you do in SpongeBob, but either way, JJ doing it all for this Wyoming Valley West team, and it kind of makes sense with the way that they are positioning as the Black Panther. They aren't as meta as they used to be, but a good Black Panther cannot be understated.
And a chance as well to do things with the ultimate, but they're immediately shrunken out of the fight. Butters is going to be taken down as well. Hey, y'all will try and go, but it's Wyoming Valley down 2 members already, and Central Buck South with a good bit of control. Blaze will look to get the ultimate online as well, but they're just playing around the objective marker. They don't even need to use these ultimates because the players are falling to their auto attacks. Central Buck South, they're going to win this first sub-map.
Just use the ultimate to dance on the graves of their enemies from the cradle. Now we move on to the Grove to see where the pushback is going to be from Wyoming Valley West. And we saw some sparkles of brilliance from them, right? We saw JJ getting some good picks and kind of focusing their duelist line as best they could. But after that, the support line with Blaze and IHOP Pancakes being kind of the higher ranked players in this team. Celestial 3 for Blaze, Diamond 2 for IHOP Pancakes. So those are the ones you might want to target first. If you get rid of the star players from your opposing side, then the rest of the dominoes fall into place. But Wyoming Valley West, they're doing what they can for now. It just hasn't been working as well as they would like, and that comes down to the rank disparity that we've witnessed.
A little bit of rank differential. The good news is for Wyoming Valley West, they carry over all of your ultimates and ultimate percentage into this second submap. So that Bast's Descent is available for Jay, and that might be just what they need to win a team fight and start the snowball to their favor. The bad news is if they lose one more submap here on this map, the first one will be done and dusted. Central Buck South, being the higher seed, got to pick this map first, and you get an advantage because Wyoming Valley doesn't really get to pick attack or defense.
It's a fun map for sure. I think a lot of teams kind of struggle about it, especially with how wide open the lanes onto the objective, especially here in the cradle are. But now we do see some solid picks coming out. A double from Snapthorn. They are dominating the competition as the game mode states, but one does touch the point. The Venom Butters doing what they can to at least stall things for now, but they will not survive this massacre that we've witnessed from Central Bucks South. Wyoming Valley West, I think the big difference for them is that they are discombobulated when it comes to going towards the objective, sending one member at a time, some flanks coming out. They aren't as coordinated as they can be. If they can lock that down, they'll at least have a better chance in these team fights.
Going Hulk mode here for Cooler, trying to get themselves a better chance. And as you mentioned, some of those stalling plays, because you sent the Venom in late, you had to wait an extra 10 or so seconds. CB South, is already up to 30%, while the Eye of Akamoto is already going to be popped. They are drifted away straight into the sight line of Quickster, who doubles up. Wyoming Valley West just doesn't have the players, didn't pop the ultimate, and the damage is gone. JJ goes back to the spawn with the rest of the team as CB South wins another team fight.
Moon Knight might be a solid look, especially when you have to worry about just a single objective there. I like the swap on over to that. JJ, it's tough. Black Panther, especially with how wide open this objective is, can't really be as effective as they would like to be, right? Because they're diving in and then immediately they get pointed out by the rest of the team, CB South, and taken down. Exactly what needs to happen for their side. So percentage building up. Hasn't been much resistance from Wyoming Valley West. They need to find an answer away onto the objective, and hey, maybe portaling onto the site together as a team could be a strategy for them.
That could be the answer, but right now they're going to go double for double. They'll bring out the Hulk. They'll also bring out the Psionic Seduction ultimate here from the Emma Frost, looking to try and get that done. Wyoming Valley West, they've got to try and deal the damage here on the back line, and that's what it's going to go. Snapthorn falls, and the damage is gone. Blaze tries to recuperate from everything else, but it just doesn't go their way. Long-range damage from Hey Y'all. And it actually builds up the ultimates as Wyoming Valley West take back the point.
They got a team fight win. They were able to separate the players of Central Buck South. They got a little bit overconfident on the objective, and that's exactly where Wyoming Valley West needed to capitalize. But can they lock it down is the big thing. They're more of a dive-focused comp, not as defensively minded, and you can see them separating for that reason. The tremble before Bass does echo behind them, and 2 picks come through for JJ, but looks for another if they can secure it. Snapthorn, they have the Kraken impact, but they won't be impactful in this fight whatsoever, especially after being sent to the respawn room the way that they have been. Wyoming Valley West, it's the best resistance we've seen from them so far.
Yeah, and the Luna Snow coming out from Fear the Mad has been pretty awesome to see. They're up to about 50% now, and they're working that team fight without having to use a ton of those ultimates. So they're still on the horizon. They still have a chance to fight this next team fight to full face value. The problem, I think, is going to be, you look at Central Buck South, and they're bringing 4 ultimates into this one. You've got IHOP Pancakes right on the horizon as well with theirs. And this could be a chance where Central Buck South just go forward. But early dizzying from 3, the Eye of Agamotto yoinks them down, and the damage rips them apart. Turret form will burn you down as the big old ultimate comes down through from N1A2. Nobody standing from Wyoming Valley.
It was a matter of time, especially with the ultimates in the tank for CB South, and well, they showed how effective they were. They only really had to use 2 of them. You do see Blaze copying Jess so that they can secure things in overtime if they need to. Fate of Both Worlds available to them, and Eternal Bond actually coming through high and dry. Eye of Agamotto from Butters. This is exactly what they need to take out the competition, but there's still the Luna Snow ultimate going off. Maybe the timing wasn't exactly right, but there is the Hand of Khonshu dropping down into the mix onto the objective, and they cannot survive the touches that are coming through for now. There's still some armed and dangerous action from Snapthorn, but they need to be a bit more accurate with it. Not the touch that they wanted on it, but it will be a good combo afterwards to get rid of the Hulk from the objective and the rest of Wyoming Valley West. That is how you clean up the trash and send things packing for map 1.
Really good job to utilize those ultimates. I especially think the Punisher, a phenomenal pick. The MVP of the day is going to go to someone. Hold on, just a victory here. There it is, the Quickster. It took a little bit of time. So a nice job there from the Doctor Strange, and as we talked about, playing off of that shield, leading the team to a victory and getting themselves this first map victory in the best of 5. That's got to feel good. And for Wyoming Valley, I think there's silver linings you can take away from that map as well. You played really good in that second to last team fight where you found your ultimates, and specifically, you found your eliminations. JJ almost goes double digits and leads the team in that factor.
Yeah, the 6 final hits were crucial to really open up the space when those team fights started to pop off, right? They got the opening picks, and then eventually things snowballed for their team. So if they can kind of rally around that for the future maps, that'd be huge. But we did see the Spider-Man ban. I would definitely expect a Black Panther ban going forward. Yes, Spider-Man is annoying to play against, but if you do have like a Namor, you can put up those Monstro spawns and not have to worry too much about watching your backline as much there. There's a couple different options that you can do to counter them as well. But even then, Black Panther, not as effective as they would have liked to be on that map. I mean, we talked about the stats. It just felt with for that second checkpoint as they were trying to get it in the Grove, so much wide open space. Once the team of CB South moved from the objective into those kind of hallways and corridors, that's where they were able to be effective with it. So once they learned, hey, we can just stay on the objective, we don't need to push them, we are already winning this, it just became a moot point. So hopefully going to the next map, depending on how the picks and bans go, they can change their fate for Wyoming Valley West. But hey, put up a decent fight in map 2, just need to carry that over into the next one.
Yeah, and map 2 is going to be critical, as we always talk in a best-of-5 series. The second map, if you lost the first one, can either put you back to a tied-up series or put you down 0-2, and you're forced into a reverse sweep scenario. So Central Buck South, a really good start. And before we head into map number 2, I think we're going to let the players take a break, us take a break, and take just a little bit of a second. So don't